A race for the extra link. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my thoughts and impressions regarding the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS, episode 86, Wisdom of the Deprived. And I gotta be honest with you guys, when this episode was first announced, I thought, like most people, that this is probably going to be the one and only duel we're going to get out of Spectre for Season 2, so I really had high hopes for this duel, and the first episode of this duel really did not disappoint, and I also must admit, I missed Spectre's mind games. It's been almost 40 episodes since we've seen them last, so it was really good to see him again. Overall, good episode in my opinion, but we'll talk about all of this soon enough, so at risk of further rambling, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins where we left off last week with Playmaker's team battling Bit and Boot, and we actually see Playmaker out with Decode Talker. It's been a long time since we've seen Decode Talker. Soul Burner, Revolver, Spectre, we see them all battling Bit and Boot and wipe them all clean. And as they finish up this battle with Bit Boot, a realignment of the two link brains begins. And once these two have realigned with each other, it cuts data material and the connection to mere link brains. So everybody's dual boards fall out of the sky, there's no data material, and the connection has been completely cut to mere link brains. So now the team is separated, and we learn later on that as they're separated, they're also trapped. But meanwhile, back in the real world, Hanoi, the Knights, Byra, Faust, and Genome there are all trying to get back into Mirror Link Brains but are unable to, so it all comes down to Kusangi's program, and thankfully his communication program works. Everybody's able to see what's going on with one another, able to communicate with one another and to the outside world, and so Kusangi actually sends the feed to the Knights so that the Knights of Hanoi can see what's going on, to which they are actually very impressed. Byra, Faust, and Genome are all complimenting Kusangi on his ability to hack in here, and they're going to use this as a backdoor to reopen the passage to Mirror Link Brain so that they can get data connection and everything and ultimately help their teammates. So while this is going on, we go back to Lightning and Windy. They're in their palace, and they're actually having a debate with one another on whether they need to reveal their plans or not. Lightning is skeptical. Windy is just saying, let's show them what we're going to do to them so that we'll break their will and they will not be able to fight anymore. And to do this, they actually bring in Yamamoto and his cameraman there, and Windy basically tells them, you're working for us now. And they're like, no, we refuse. And Lightning is like, well, that's admirable. But Windy's not having any of it. He actually hooks these two into a collar-like system and basically tells them, either you do what we want or boom, you're both dead. So now these two are forced to cooperate with whatever Windy and Lightning want to do, and they're basically telling Yamamoto and his cameraman, you are going to broadcast this duel and send them away to where Spectre is out in the desert, where Lightning comes in. And Lightning actually appears before Spectre and basically says, you are my first prey, your teammates are alright, but you not so much. You're the first prey and I'm going to kill you first. And Spectre is like, well, I take it by logic of your battle with Blood Shepherd that you think I'm the weakest link in my team. And Lightning's like, that is correct, because you are just Revolver's pawn. And we actually get a little bit of a mind game between Spectre and Lightning, where Spectre's like, don't kid yourself. I may be loyal to Revolver, but I've used my free will to be loyal to Revolver. I'm nobody's pawn. And as this is going on, Spectre even flips the script and says that Lightning is actually the weak one because he has AI with free will. And since he's an AI with free will, eventually everything with free will, you will eventually have a power struggle. And Lightning just, he doesn't like how Spectre is probing him. And he's like, I don't care for being probed. Spectre apologizes for this. But as their debate goes on, they get to Earth, and basically Spectre's like, I hold you responsible for Earth's destruction. If you hadn't have interfered, Earth would still be alive. So Spectre kind of feels for Earth, and he even goes to say that Earth was a part of me. And Playmaker even kind of alludes to this, where he's like, the Ignis are part of the victims of the Lost Incident. And I even turns to him and is like, did you just say I'm a part of you? And Playmaker's like, no, I didn't. But don't kid yourself, Playmaker. I's a part of you whether you like it or not. So yeah, so we get the discussion about Earth. We see how Spectre really feels about Earth. But Lightning cuts him off. He basically says, oh, don't kid yourself. If we had stayed hidden in the network, the Knights of Hanoi still would have killed us. We still wouldn't have lived peacefully. We're fighting for survival, and that's why you must die. And Spectre's like, well, we have a difference of opinion here. And so they both agree that talking is useless, and they get on with the duel. And so as the master duel begins between Spectre and Lightning, the Knights of Hanoi are all wondering how Spectre is going to do in this, and even Revolver's a little bit unnerved about Spectre going up against Lightning on his own, but nevertheless, the duel still begins. They still have faith in Spectre, and Lightning begins the duel with a continuous link summon and actually pulls off an extra link thanks to Judgment Arrows. And basically we learn during this, after the extra link has appeared, that Lightning and Spectre's decks are pretty similar. They're pretty similar in the way they think. They're both kind of deprived, and they think the same way. And basically Lightning says, I know your deck is dangerous when you link summon, so I've taken that ability to link summon completely away from you. Your deck is no threat to me. And so Spectre is like, I see. Spectre, still unnerved, begins his turn. He brings out 2 Sunseed monsters, and he's like, oh, but I can't link summon. Whatever shall I do? And eventually brings out a new spell card called Sunvine Plunder. Basically what it does is he pays 800 life points and allows Spectre to steal Judgment Arrows from Lightning, allowing Spectre to link summon as this broke the extra link. And of course, stealing Judgment Arrows will allow every link monster that Spectre summons to double its power during a battle with another link monster. And everybody's impressed by this. Revolver's like, that was a good move. Playmaker says, bold move, but very effective. So everybody is complimenting Spectre's wise thinking on taking Judgment Arrows. And he even says, I wish I had such a powerful card as you, so I'm just going to steal it. Because if I don't have what I need, I steal it. That's the kind of duelist I am. So now Spectre has Judgment Arrows and the ability to link summon as he continues probing Lightning even more, just kind of taunting him with his mind games before ultimately link summoning Sun Avalon Daphne and using Sunvine Shrine to special summon a Loci and bring out Link 1 rather, Sunvine Thrasher. And of course, Thrasher's ability, if you guys remember way back 40 episodes ago when we last saw it, when it battles a monster and destroys it, it's able to take control of it. So anyway, Thrasher's attack points rise by 1,600 thanks to Sun Avalon Daphne having 2 links, and then moves into attack. But thanks to Judgment Arrows, Spectre's able to raise Sunvine Thrasher's attack clear up to 4,800 as he moves in to attack Lightning, and ultimately this would win the duel. However, Lightning has Primi Ordinus in his field, and basically its effect reduces the damage Lightning would take by 1,000 per link, meaning he's able to null the damage by 4,000, meaning he's not going to take any damage by this, but he's still able to destroy Decurion. Spectre is. So Decurion's destroyed, and of course thanks to Thrasher's effect, it's special summoned to Spectre's side of the field. So now we have Decurion versus Decurion because Spectre sends the stolen monster of Lightning's back in to destroy Lightning's other copy of Decurion, and they're destroyed. They destroyed Decurion, however, Lightning unaffected by loss of life points thanks to Ordinus's effect. So now that's done, Spectre's had his fill. He actually sacrifices the Decurion he stole from Lightning to activate Sunvine Crossbreed, and he uses this to special summon another Genius Loci from his graveyard and link summon Link 1 Sun Avalon Dryas as the episode concludes. So that was basically the opening for the duel between Spectre and Lightning. Like I said, this is probably going to be the only duel we're going to get out of Spectre for Season 2, so I had high hopes for it, and so far it's living up to that expectation. We've got 2 deprived minds here, mind-gaming one another and going for that extra link, and it looks like whoever's able to control the extra link is going to win the duel. So that'll be interesting to see how they handle that in the next episode, but that's a discussion for next week. Like I said before, I really enjoyed this episode. Overall, I give this episode a 7.5. It wasn't a perfect episode, but it was a really good episode. I do like how they're pulling the whole dynamic here of Playmaker's team really working side by side with the Knights of Hanoi. Like I said, I loved Spectre's mind games. There's something I've really missed about his character and really have wanted to see again. I really like how Lightning thought he had the upper hand here, and I really like how these two have a similar personality and they're colliding with one another here. I think it's going to make the episodes more interesting as far as the rest of this duel, although I do think ultimately in the end Spectre is going to end up being defeated, which is sad. But again, we'll just have to wait and see if that actually happens. But as always, everybody, in the comments section down below, let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just there? What were your thoughts? Who do you think's going to win the duel? Did you enjoy Spectre's mind taunts as much as I did? Just let me know what your guys' thoughts are about all this in the comments section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. Alright everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye everybody.